welcome back once again. It has been far too long, actually. Far too long. But I can't put it off any longer, mainly because there's a gap in things I'm watching, and what a better place. But ultimately, more time for a film, another reaction. What could I possibly do? Well, there's still quite a lot of Ghibli films out there. Let's give it another bash. And how could I possibly choose? Well, the answer is actually very simple. I let other people do it for me, or in this case, chance. Like a flip of a coin, just with a lot more possible outcomes. So guess what won out? That's right, the one we're watching on this video. And if by some miracle you've managed to obfuscate the title of this video from your vision, we're watching a little thing called Ponyo. Something that, out of all the Ghibli films I've seen the image of like the main poster or something of it. And that's about it. But really, I can be pretty sure to be expecting some beautiful scenery, some heart-touching storylines, and more Ghibli magic. I'm expecting some good things from this. And since I have no idea of the story or anything, I wonder how well it will really get me into the world straight away. Starting off with quite the underwater scene. Wow. Far more life than I would have envisioned. Going into the microscopic. Okay. I did see that guy just standing in a bubble underwater. Mixing some very iridescent colours. Oh. But nothing can match actual life, apparently. Try to communicate. Oh no, jellyfish. Taking quite a lot of time to you're getting your first glimpse. Some tasty lunch there. But yeah, getting your first glimpse into the kind of life of this place. I'd have to stay inside the ship. Damn it, there's so much going on, it's hard to see. Stop climbing on the bubble. But there's life from all sorts of depths of the ocean here. Like deep sea anglerfish and seahorses at the same level. And a lot of crustaceans. that using a jellyfish as cover? Interesting technique. And also the soundtrack to accompany it. Kind of giving off the wide adventurous tones of the almost unnatural world beneath the ocean surface. Right. Just take a nap on a giant jelly sofa. Interesting. I can tell this is going to be quite stylistic in some of its designs and tones. The vast world beneath the waves. How much do we really know? And however many years it has been that our species has been sailing the ocean and exploring its depths. I don't think we've yet seen anything quite like what we will experience today. I also didn't think we'd be getting to see that finned ship right at the beginning with the potion master. No. Watch out for the turbine. It's a style of background I haven't seen or don't at least remember all too often, where it's looks like it's done in coloured pencil. If that's what they're going for and everything is drawn out like that, that's ambitious and I like it. Oh no, fishing trawlers. Dive, Mr. Jelly. Ah. Really trawling the floor, picking up everything. How much junk is there that... Is that a bathtub? Why did I find that amusing? But the danger that we are to everything in the environment, just littering not just the coast, but so much with our manufactured junk. It's a strange-looking goldfish. Would you really be that forceful with some goldfish you found? The waves are coming in strong all of a sudden. Blah, 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 blah. To you too. Okay. Oh, that was weird. Carry on with your debt. Could have gone worse. I was expecting worse. Ah! It's tasted human blood. And this kind of amorphous blob and shapes that we see, like chasing characters, very reminiscent of the, I can't remember what it was called, but all the worms in Princess Mononoke. Over there, stolen by the surface world. Mazui. I do like how in things like Ghibli films, things do look, you know, imaginative realism kind of thing. Like you can believe all of it, like the houses and. You sure? Okay. A new life trapped in a bucket. Bringing something else. Giving free weeding services, I see. Pest control. Yeah, can you get out of the road? She is very against forms of pesticide, but apparently not about safe driving. Could you slow down a bit? Got to show off the new fish that you just scooped down to its habitat. I'm not liking how much the car is tilting there. How much of a rush are you in? Yes, share a cheese and ham sandwich with a fish. With supreme healing capabilities. That's great. What does Ponyo actually mean in like a translation? That would probably help me understand the naming. Ah, it wants meat. Oh god. My worst fears. I like how they're just zooming along, ignoring the debris building up and smacking them in the face. Ah, the ship itself. Flaps and swims along. Would you risk that? It does seem to hold like some sort very subtle environmental message. Well, you haven't been driving that long, I wouldn't be too surprised. But for a, like, portside town, city... Where does she work? Seeing it built up like that with all the ships coming and going. Like a residential care home. Sorry, all of you, I'm busy. Got something better to talk to than some of the old people. You can't waste time getting to class either. Put them in the shade. Yes, that will provide ample shelter from nearby cats. Maybe you should have left a book or something. Must be quite boring in that bucket. How nice it, just other parents and people actually call you and say hello. You don't see that all too often. He doesn't need to defend himself. He said he's busy. It's dead. Supply it with more blood. Ah, so this is what you were doing. The bushes are not... I mean, he might have a point there. And how soon will the entire class know of the... Ponyo. Apparently it's got a mean streak as well. Yeah, now I definitely don't think you'll be able to take that fish into class. I wonder if the... Quick, water. Stop trying to kill the poor fish. Yeah, I don't think near-death experience is something to laugh about. Do you have time to talk to them yet? I mean, they're all for little mind games, aren't they? They're wise in their years. The more he talks about it, the more... Ooh. Since they're sitting in wheelchairs, let's see if by the end Ponyo will have that level of magic. I remember, fish with human faces being cursed and whatnot. She's already drowning. No, save it. The town's in danger. How many people are going to need a change of clothes thanks to Ponyo's antics? Is being down here a safe environment? And go to school. Okay. So far, it's caught the... it's able to mimic. It's growing at an unbelievable rate. The tide is rising. Oh no, the dapper of the deep sea. I think we'd have... Yeah, we let go of the bucket pretty easily. An element of danger. And wading into the water that quickly. Ah, good, he's got the bucket. We're halfway there. I mean, why did he go run down there in the first place, near all that open water? Seems like a daft idea. Is there some... some story behind that character there? And a general mistrust, shall we say, of people. There's some wide strides. Something that even ice cream cannot fix. I mean, she should keep her eyes on the road. I feel in danger and I'm not even in the car. But having a house on a hill like that seems like quite... I don't know what the word would be. Not peaceful, but... Nope, can't think. Fill in the blank yourself. What all started as him just wanting to play with his toy boat. And in a very short-lived friendship. I see adhering to rules or promises are quickly wavered. I mean, you've already told Ponyo where the house is, so... good step. That wasn't the phone. Okay, I didn't expect we'd have like a phone call. I mean, with a job out on the sea, he's gonna... That's not an option. She's quick to hit the drink, I see. Quite the stressful relationship. But with, working, like, especially on fishing trawlers and like that, is a dangerous job that I am respectful of the people that do it, but it's not for me. It's and yet he's already giving like signals. I like the other guy. The fact that, he knows essentially Morse code. I see a little light show isn't enough to make up for the lost family dinner. And usually how these things go, either we're going to have a tragic misfortune befalling them pretty soon, or by the end they'll have the true meaning of family. But with a job that takes you away from your family for large amounts of time, she brightened up quickly. That's an interesting plateau. It's a strange architecture. The farm. Ah, I was right. He does have an issue with humans. Brunhilde. Processed meat? Disgusting. So being horribly jaded with the idea of humanity. Yeah, stop being somewhat of a cephalopod. With enough belief, you can overcome such things as the barriers of evolution. That is horrifying, actually. Weird chicken fish. Get those arms and legs back where they belong, into non-existence. And not only is if he's so worried about humans littering up the ocean, he's not picking up after himself there. He's managed to revert it, albeit maybe temporarily. There's multiple stories and the like going on here. One of environmental damage, one of growing up, we have a migration of the crabs. Because he left them on the floor. Oh god, he can clean up a little. and somewhat kind of in parallel with the parents of Sasuke, Pangea. Wonder why that's called Pangea. Yeah, other than the original supercontinent. But yeah, in parallel with the parents, he's also separated. 1871. How far back does it go? Get the last drop out. Okay. The Cambrian was... okay, yeah. We'll go the Cambrian. The Cambrian explosion. Okay, that door not closing properly is going to be a thing. But how long has he been trying to fill the well so far? It doesn't look like it's overflowing anytime soon unless he really gets to it. Yeah, without any teeth or anything. See, the surface tension of a bubble is too much to overcome. Or they're just very, very hungry and we're watching some very horrid cannibalism. I know this is meant to be a big moment, but God, it's creepy. Lovely. Is Ponyo going to spread the gift of human blood to the others? Quick, before you kill everyone. Gonna need to seal that hole. But this... Why do you need like a diamond ring cutter to open the window made of water? You know, one of the dangers of living under the surface of the ocean. Oh no. Everything's becoming a lot more wibbly. Oh, actual arms and legs now. I see, so whatever power was in that. But are they going to need to continually top up on that magic tonic to keep in this form? We have a veritable armada of those things about to tarnish the surface world. Huh? Can I assume that now they're just fish mechas? Everyone's going to be feasting well. Here's the tsunami that the old woman was talking about earlier. This kind of thing would be, well, other than seeing whatever that was running on top of the waves, would be terrifying to go through. With waves that high. In this kind of weather. It must be nice living in a small town where you can put your trust in everyone to be okay. Is the power out in here? You say you'll be fine, but with the weather as it is, something could go wrong. Horribly wrong in an instant. What a lovely evening we're having. What a conscientious little character he is. She's a bit further along, shall we say. Is she going to also be quite influential later on in the story? She gets a blue one. Ah. I was about to say it's a ship. If it looks like a grasshopper to her, let it be a grasshopper. It's kind of the reason why I'm glad I live where I do, where our weather... We complain about it a lot, and it's dismal a lot, but... ultimately, there aren't extremes like this. I hope she takes it easy on the drive back this time. Yeah, the swell of the waves is... Yep, you got to keep looking on the bright side there. If you start thinking all doom and gloom. She's a bit busy, yeah. Stop! It's flooded. Oh no. Take the mountain road. Yeah, okay. I would not, even without the big wave, I wouldn't risk that. Okay, maybe her unsafe driving is a blessing in disguise somewhat there. The suspension is taking a battering. And as much as we kind of litter the ocean itself, the ocean fights back in a lot of ways. How long have they been running for? Not out of breath or tired? And see, the potion of the power of that elixir is stronger than we realise. Yeah, okay. This might be something to look out the window at. I know she's busy keeping her eye on the actual road. I see the Murlocs have invaded this. Yeah, after hearing that a little girl just fell into the ocean, be like, excuse me? Okay, now it's becoming a little unbelievable. At least the rain has subsided. Yep, sometimes you have to prioritize your own safety. Jesus Christ. If the waves are getting this high up, everywhere down there is flooded and everyone's doomed. Oh no, the bucket. How would she know? Slowly losing power. She was enthralled with the first home that is the bucket. That was a smooth transition. She's killing him. Really needs to get more blood, I see. In a way. If only making new friends was this easy, just raise them yourself from a goldfish. I have several questions. I think that's an appropriate response, just... Huh? And showering the ground with the golden soup. She's embracing this rather quickly. Ah. That's an interesting little... light source. Would you want the curtains or blinds kind of apart for that? I see. Normal house etiquette is still going to need to be trained. Just like in earlier on, being caught by the net being trawled across the ocean floor. I suppose. I seriously hope. Ah, cool. The plumbing does still work. That would help. Maybe it would help if you also got your own generator to keep the electrics on. I know she's used to just going anywhere. Yeah. Swimming around, there's very little restraint, but... dexterous. Although, it's... That's going to be the dinner for tonight. Where's the ham? Just adding honey to the tea, I see. Let it cool down a little. Unlike the relatively overly salty taste of pretty much everything in the ocean, having something like honey would be Quite the change-up. I don't think you need to be so energetic in just scarfing down the lot. Really? How did you come up with that one? They do have a generator. Huh? But all fathers are horrible wizards, aren't they? That's... Don't get to see her much, though. Okay, I see she takes it as a somewhat of a compliment. And I said it earlier, I like it when things are semi-realistic. I mean, look at this place. There's bits of junk and collectibles and pots and jars around. Actually having to go through the steps of starting a generator. Bah. Using some of her own power there to help out. It's rather a rough ocean tonight, yeah. It's filling with hope, yeah. Don't worry, they're all sunk, everyone's dead. Even if there's no one on the receiving end. I think she's a bit too forceful there. It's good just to send the message. This one, you will have to wait a while. I think blowing on it straight away is going to do the trick. Has been 3 minutes yet. Crunchy. Is this a surprise? Ah, that's what she was doing. Adding a few toppings on. To be fair. The meal looks quite good. How many times have we seen a child struggle to stay awake while eating? I'm sure almost every parent has a story like that at some point. Try the radio again. He has a bit of... That's high up the mountain there. And then the light just goes out. Oh no. Yeah, he's quite observant. When Ponyo falls asleep, the waves start to subside and go quiet. Putting herself in danger there to help others that might potentially be in trouble. So someone needs to stay and be that hope. You can say that again. How many people right now would be so altruistic and go out at a time like this, check on the well-being of others? But in a smaller, closer-knit society, community, it probably comes a lot easier. I hear some tyre screeching. But now what's he going to do with the rest of the evening? Not only is his mother out, but they couldn't get in contact with any of the ships, really. How far were they taken? Hold on a sec. There's lights under the water. Or that, I guess. Yeah, you might want to give it a wide berth for the time being. Bugger. Usually when things are lighting up and incredibly bioluminescent, at least in movies and such, it might not be too bad. I wonder who that could be. And as soon as she passes, the water returns to its original state, and the ships start working again. Only ever so slightly different from what we're seeing there. The gliding through the ocean so gracefully. What could have possibly erected this? This barrier. Can't get a... This is terrible. The worst outcome he could have hoped for. Really interfering in a time like this. I'm surprised he had managed to maintain a stable foothold all this time. And what kind of message are they going to have for them? The roads weren't that submerged before. I feel like the idea of the ocean actually calling Ponyo instead of, what was it before, like Brunhilde? You do very well teaching them not to behave in that way. How close is that moon? I mean, he has significant and appropriate concerns if satellites are being pulled out of orbit. That was some odd shape-shifting. And if it folds at all, she'll just go back into being a Piscine. Or just cease to exist. She turned off the lights. Now what are the ships gonna see? Hopefully the... Just look how high the water level is there. Just a minor concussion to start the morning off. Yeah, that's usually a cause for concern. Oh, it goes a lot deeper than that. Yeah, how is she expected to get back? Hop in. I said, hop in. Take it outside first. That'll last for a while. Yeah, maybe some like cans of beans, some ham and tuna in there. You'll be fed for weeks. Or even in a macro scale, apparently it was rather watertight. I mean, shit! You're letting it get away from you. Cool, but it's not a reliable sense of locomotion. I see, packing the essentials. Safety matches, you wouldn't see that too much anymore. Allowing kids to play with fire. Thanks for the warning. But it's a good thing that candle was... Who's letting the octopus inside? Good thing that candle was increased in size. I see. He doesn't really have a view of what's in front, does he? I mean, I can tell you what there is. There's some ocean, a bit more ocean, some more ocean. Does he know the way to the other side while the rest of it is underwater? Also, if it stays submerged for too long, that'd cause some damage. Ah, it's rather clear. I'd rather, I'd be happy if you don't see her while you're looking along the road there. So you got... Wow. What if you'll be seeing a coelacanth? A fish that I actually really quite like. How many other kind of living fossils are there just out there? They're out here just enjoying their day. quick. Yeah, full steam ahead. Is everyone okay with how much water there is right now? No one's very much concerned. How terrific for you. Yep, that's a baby. What was with that extended conversation? A present? It was more than just a cup. I do like how everything is apart from the fantastical elements, somewhat based in reality. Like all the stupid stuff, like the baby's actions are, yeah, that's what you'd expect. You got more coming out in droves. They're used to this heavy flooding. I mean, for the time being, they are okay. The idea that everyone is out there relatively still okay and safe and managed to get to higher ground, or at least onto giving away all of your food. Yeah, so it's okay to give them away now. She'll do what now? Yeah, anyone else just kind of going along with the stuff he's saying. Well, and Ponyo saying, I used to be a fish. Oh, did you? She can make this candle bigger. Oh, okay. Stop crying! It'll be okay. It won't be okay. I'm not sure what to gain from that, but well, at least you stop crying. Yeah. They're separated. At least, yeah, they know that as of last night when she was going back up the road, nothing terrible happened. Since they're still there and out on their little boat. Wow. That was the sign for the hotel there. Now, I know there are villages that sit above the waves, and floating villages, and the like that are on stilts for when it is heavy flooding, but having an existence like that, I'll just end up in the water. My footing is really not that good. I mean, yeah. She seems a bit out of it. Hasn't had much of a rest. Maybe get back to this later. Just float for a while and let her sleep. You don't want to accidentally enlarging his face or something. Yeah, it worked. And considering what we heard from the sea woman, that she would grow into an actual human and lose her power, is that also going to be part of the story there when they need it most? She doesn't actually have the magic. But for a kid of his age to get this far and push the boat, you can tell that he's used to it, at least. At least they're within, walking distance up the hill. There's still some deep spots. As long as he doesn't tread on a lionfish or anything. Their ocean voyage is coming to an end now. They've got to hoof it on foot. You might want to get your hand out of there before it gets trapped in. What about the boat? Oh no, his little hat. A very little hat. And the binoculars. What about the backpack? They weren't affected by the magic in the first place. Why did they shrink? First good sign, at least. You see the top of the car. Are the keys still in the ignition? All the stuff hasn't been dropped off. Check in the car just one more time. Maybe something changed. after driving through the seawater all that time, maybe something itself happened to the engine, so she had to walk off. Maybe she needs to sleep a bit more. But the idea that oh god. He went on this journey to find the... I am incredibly surprised those cloves stayed on the line. Journey to find her. I guess there's no real reason to worry about the old women. They've regained a little vigour. How are the fish swimming? It... Must be nice to have a bit of their independence and energy back. The fact that he is grown a little to not immediately hate all humans. They've been talking, haven't they? Maybe just go back to your game of tag. With such a support group behind them. Yeah. Family reunions and the like are going to be a little odd. I mean, he gave them little origami fish and the like. Whenever there's an underground like mountain tunnel, mountain pass type thing, I was going to say it reminds me and gives me like Mob Psycho vibes. Maybe because that one has been etched into my memory, but the big ominous stop sign at the beginning. Obviously less ominous when it's just a normal traffic laws, but stop sign at the entrance with her saying that she doesn't like the place and is very much losing power. Go get through to the other side as quick as possible. Get some water back in her. This might be sending the wrong message. Get better! She's receding even further. How exactly the species works is confusing. I mean, he says it, but don't just believe everything some stranger in a pinstripe suit tells you. Thank you. I mean, that does look like a very dangerously close moon. I like how that one who was left behind and not part of the fun and games and the the extreme energy that the rest of them had. To be fair, that kind of running technique slapped in the face with a fish. I mean, that would... Let alone an old woman, that would take many people out. Running at the speed that he was, diving into a sternum. As long as they don't start nibbling his air bubble. Now preparing for a new life under the ocean. I see the old woman now has now rejoined all of the others as well. And they accept her with open arms. I suppose with the extra buoyancy of being in water, being able to run around would be easier on your knees. as the human form or the fish? I mean, he was there from the beginning. I mean, at this point, as a pet or a friend, not much has really changed, especially at an age like that. There's not really too much to think about. And this is a nice moment with her being accepted and giving up a part of herself to be human. But there's still the thing about the moon. What? Oh, okay. And what about all of the other little Ponyo fish sisters? Oh god. They are converging. They now return to the waves. And I've already forgotten his name, but the evil sea wizard being left out there of the celebrations because he was trying to avoid it. I like it. They've got a new lease on life for the time being. Starting anew. You would hope that he would wish the best. All of the ships returned. I'm still not understanding some of the plot lines in this. Like, what was the need of for the ship mountain? Oh, that was fast. But now, I guess gravity doesn't matter in a freeze frame. Well, that was an amusing little story of acceptance, wasn't it? Nice backgrounds drawn in pencil. I feel like the first half where the guy was against humans because of their disregard for the environment, for the ocean, was sidelined quite heavily. an idea of friendship from various cultures and very different ways of life. There's really not too much separating you in the end, is there? Just giving up the ways of breathing in water and growing some arms and legs. Despite multiple quite heavy safety concerns, that was quite a nice movie. I wonder... Actually, I should go check. 2008. That's when this was. this came out. But having that kind of life, it's just kind of so far separated from the normal heavy city life. A life out in the country, you got fishermen. We got a close-knit community caring for your elders. Everywhere's relatively close by, people know each other. Whereas me, currently, everything seems a bit disconnected. I very much barely even know my neighbours, let alone everyone in the vicinity. But if we're getting back to the movie, it's just... what can I really say about it? Relatively sweet story. Some elements which are still a bit confusing, but much like most of the movie, and just people just accepting it, it's like, oh, okay, yep, fair. That might be the way to go. Oh, she's a fish that have had human blood and turned half fish, half human. Okay. Let's not question that. He was collecting a bunch of magic elixir to regain the power of the sea and something. Oh, wait, that's not happening now? Okay. And little things that were ultimately not too consequential. Things like Pangea, the fish from various periods throughout Earth's history. They were more just a little scientific curiosity than anything too meaningful. But I suppose, in a way, part of what I really liked about this movie, being that everything seemed, as I said before, apart from the fantastical elements of it, realistic, like having to turn on the generator, doing all the steps, all the kind of menial tasks that we have to do through day-to-day life, was shown here without much glamifying it at all. And with that in mind, things happened in this which there wasn't a further need, a further explanation, a further part of the story, a plot or anything. It's just, it happens because things happen. Things were put in motion, people were doing stuff that they just did. It wasn't a grander plan. And people cropped up, they had a conversation with just, hi, how are you? How are you doing? Have some sandwiches, have some soup. No initial need for them, no storylines or anything for them since, but that's kind of how we see people out in the street. We make friends and acquaintances, and then that might be it. Sometimes there's no interconnecting destiny. Unless there's a giant moon going to destroy the world or something which needs to be stopped, and then changing species. Something. But there's a mash of ideas, both plot-wise and from the amazing to the relatively normal. Once again, Ghibli has done something quite nice, designing an entire world here which, starting off under the ocean, seeing all of that kind of craziness with the different species, different animals, different colours, and bubble magic, and something. To then try and ground it with, here's some people going about their daily lives, going to work, having to wait for the crossing to be clear, or not. But also, now that Ponyo has become human, what happens with all the paperwork? I mean, she probably has to get registered to go to school. I believe the mother said that Sosuke is now her guardian. Is that legally binding? I feel like when the dad actually gets back from his fishing trip, there's going to be a story to regale him with. Might need a few explanations. But for now, tell me what you thought. where does this rank with other Ghibli films that you've seen? Nothing too dramatic or deadly in this one, just relatively fun, upbeat, safe. A very underlying message just to get you thinking, but not smash you over the head with it. So if you enjoyed, let me know. Consider leaving a like on the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel to catch more. If you want to talk and not leave it forever on YouTube, consider joining onto my Discord. Links are down below. We've got a few people there already. And the longer it goes on, the more I can say I'm actually quite proud of everyone. Got a nice little community building. Not sure that they'd all come to my rescue should everything go underwater and heavy flooding, but as far as online interactions go, it's pretty nice. All in all, I hope you enjoyed. Give yourselves a bit of rest. Have some warm soup. And I'll see you in the next one. My patrons are the considerate little ne'er-do-wells who have allowed my channel to grow limbs, and so now if anything really happens, you know who to blame. It's squarely on the likes of Electric Ant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Shiwan, Mats, Gurley, Cardboard, Croyville, Ginterman, Jennifer Rojas, D. Vero, Alvin Garsan, Moahad, Defender of Segs, Dark Shadow 7899, Jeremiah Tima, and everyone else. Of course there's less elixirs and magic to go around, and instead, just time to enjoy some more anime. And if that sounds good to you, consider joining up as well. I'll be waiting, just don't expect any ham to be left.